Maybe maybe Bailey, you could share your screen and Jeff Wagner might be able to help. Hi, my name's Jana Morishima, and I am a literary agent and the founder of Kids Comics Unite. And once upon a time, I was a founding editor at Scholastic Graphics. And why would a literary agent be doing something on Kickstarter? I'll explain that in a minute. But first, let me tell you about this project. It is called Let's Go, a Kids Comic Studio Anthology. And these stories are created by contributors who are from all over the map.
I am from Maryland.
I live in French Alps.
Vancouver, Washington.
California, USA.
Rhode Island.
From Costa Rica.
The island of Kauai.
I live under there.
Live in Gulf Breeze, Florida.
And we live in Central Florida.
In Portland, Oregon.
Sleepy Hollow Country.
Havertown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Minneapolis.
Virginia.
I'm from Milford, Massachusetts.
And this is Benny, and we live in Connecticut.
This international band of creators are all members of Kids Comic Studio. So they are both veteran, they are brand new, they are authors, they are illustrators, and they are author illustrators. Let me introduce you to some of them.
My name is Alberto Gonzalez.
Bob Tebow.
Brian Robles.
Cesar.
David Quinn.
Deborah Tyson.
Edna Kapkava-Moran.
Holly Michaels.
Ingrid.
Jeff Larkin.
Justin Siebold.
Janelle DeWitt.
Maggie Shang.
Nicole Harwood.
Patrick Lugo.
Sarah Steinberg.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Ashley.
Rowena Zonreich.
Okay, back to the question of why a literary agent would be working with a group of creators to do a Kickstarter. Well, traditional publishing is definitely not the only way that you can publish a book anymore, and Kickstarter is super effective. And not only that, but it also allows you to avoid gatekeeping and learn by doing, which is awesome. So we feel so strongly about the power of story that we are not paying any of the creators involved in this project. Everyone is donating the many hours that they spent working on it to something that they think will make the world a little bit better. And one way that you can help us is by donating a copy of the book to one of a few organizations that we are partnering with, each of which is dedicated to helping a group of vulnerable kids, either in the United States or abroad. And you can find out more about that by looking at our community tier. Just scroll down in the rewards. Meeting our campaign goals will bring you a beautiful full-color comics anthology aimed at kids between the ages of 7 and 12. The stories range from 1 to 8 pages, and the project is complete. And okay, these stories are everything from educational to whimsical, funny to scary, real life to fantastical. But let's hear how their creators describe them.
My one word would be curiouser.
Odd.
Transformative.
Heart-stopping.
Frantic.
Silly.
Hopeful.
Optimism.
Weird.
Noisy.
Grumble.
Mysterious.
Heartwarming.
Adventurous.
Camaraderie.
Wholesome.
Poetic.
Atmospheric.
So we would love for you to come join us in this journey, this adventure of discovery, creativity, and a sprinkle of collective magic. Thank you so much. Maritza, what are you showing?
So
Video. On Zoom.
Thank you so
So we are still in speaker mode instead of gallery mode. At least that's what it looks like to me, because I can see myself on that screen, which is disturbing. But so we have our video. A quick look puts us at currently at 10 backers. Is that right? Yeah, 10 backers. We have 32 days left to go. We are at $745.
So, were we gonna go through the rewards?
Yeah, so at this point, yeah, what we could do is share the screen, and then like let's see, I could give it a shot on my tablet, but that might be a little bit.
Oh, I could do it. Do you want me to do it?
Sure. There's if we go to if you go to the campaign page, that you should be able to see
Okay.
and then we can go, you can close that little sidebar by hitting that little button that's right next to the Kickstarter label. Kickstarter logo, there's that little button right next to the Kickstarter.
Oh, that one? Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay.
And then if we, oh, look at that, one more backer. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's it. So if we go a little bit lower, there's a tab that will show you, you see there's campaign, and then there's rewards. So I don't know which way you'd like to do it. If we could just go through the campaign. There's a couple of videos embedded, and then we can go through the rewards.
Okay.
I don't expect anyone needs to read all of that out loud. We've all read it so many times over.
So this is the book, and then we have a video about why I, as a literary agent, am working with you guys on Kickstarter, and then we have your beautiful sample pages.
Yeah, the sample pages are glorious. And because it's Earth Day, I wanted to really focus on that Junk Wars piece, since that's such an exceptional way to start our campaign.
Actually, both of the sample comics right at the top are good for Earth Day. The Ant's Life is also good for Earth Day.
So if you see your preview page on this, you know, chime in.
Is Junk Wars Cesar?
Yep.
Junk Wars is.
That's right.
Oh, Cesar, do you want to say a little bit about? Oh, it's Janelle and Cesar. Okay, that's
yeah. It was a collaboration with Janelle. Yeah, so she reached out asking me if I wanted to collaborate, but the story was not really set or definitive yet. I believe that's what we talked about in an interview that might be in this page as well. But basically, she had a bit of a concept in mind, and then we kind of developed it together. And yeah, until we were both happy with the script, and then I work traditionally on these pages, so I've got a workflow that I'm kind of familiar with, and I'm usually doing my storyboarding and penciling digitally with Photoshop, that then I print on watercolor paper, but I print it really transparent, so it's like 7% transparency, or you can barely see, but at least it gives me a template, and it allows me to place the text and resize anything that needs to be resized. Anyway, that's the workflow. But the story was coming from Jono's discussion with her kids about junk wars and pollution of our oceans. So it's a bit of a mix. So the obviously these pages don't show the entirety of the comic, but it shows only the beginning, the first few pages of the story.
So can you I just want to make sure I understood correctly. So you penciled and inked it digitally, and then you
No, I only pencil.
Oh, only
I ink traditionally. Yeah.
Okay, so you inked.
So all the blacks that you can see here are just traditionally inked with a brush pen, with a one of these tip that is quite brushy. It really looks like a brush, and it allows me to do thicker or thinner lines.
Wow, that's amazing.
But you know what? Each time I see those pages, I'm like, ouch. I don't want to see them.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
It's always the same, I think.
Why is that, Cesar?
I don't know. It's always like a mix between seeing the mistakes or what you could have done better and imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens to all of us. Yeah, I can say
Yeah.
the same thing of my own pages. But
Yeah,
but no one else aware of it. So whatever.
that's right.
Cesar, I just want to say I aspire to mistakes of your level.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thanks for the support.
I mean, Cesar, you've been such a heavy hitter throughout this whole project. You know, I mean, with the genesis of the documentarian angle and the chronicling, you know, the whole process in a way that allows everyone else to alleviate some stress with a laugh. You know,
Yeah.
so
But really, yeah, if I can just bounce back from this comment, Patrick, is that I think I've made a comic where I'm explaining that I needed this community to kind of balance my lack of social, times day to day, because I'm a full-time, comic book artist, and I'm just really doing this lonely job every day. And I really needed to have, other people I could connect with. So to me, it was really more of a relaxing thing, to be involved with this project and doing some different um, work than my daily comic work. Different in terms of, it's still comic work, but it's not driven by deadlines, and it's much more like spontaneous, and yeah, I don't know. Help me at least.
well, it seems like it's helping more than just you. I mean, just from a look at the what Janelle posted today for the anthology takeover. And also, I noticed that you had a not a quick time lapse video floating around, which is always delightful to see. So, so yeah, kudos, awesome.
Oh, thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, I think a lot of us will agree with you on, you know, looking to find the perfect balance of dedication to the solo part of our work and dedication to the collaborative part of our work. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think you've really, really, really like set the bar high on that balance.
Yeah, and I would encourage anyone who's who is encountering us for the first time to head over to Janelle's website, because she did a great breakdown of the process that she undertook with you, Cesar.
Oh yeah.
Patrick, I was just wondering if I should go post inside of KCU just to mention that we are all hanging out here live. Did
And
anybody already do that?
that we're over 25%, which I think we are.
Yeah. So, okay.
I
Is it
think that
okay
would
if
be a
I
great. Yeah,
let
well, actually, maybe we can play a second video, perhaps the video that says, why would a literary agent, or maybe it should be the reward tiers, Bailey.
the reward tier, I think would be cool.
Let's
Yeah,
reward
get those
tiers
in there.
video, because that's got a little bit for all of us to watch. But alas, I wonder if once Bailey has it on the screen over there, then maybe we could share screen it here so that folks. Raise your hand if you've seen these videos before. Right, just me. Oh, 2, 3. Oh, that's great. So
Okay, cool.
To make this project even more exciting, we have put together some special rewards for you, anybody who is supporting our project. Let's start with the basics though. For the basic tier, if you're in the continental US, you can support us for $25 and you will get a beautiful physical copy of the book, shipping included. In a perfect world, we would also include shipping anywhere in the world, but because of stuff happening in the world, we can't do that right now. And so if you're an international supporter, you can support us at the digital tier for $15 and you will get a PDF of the book. We also have something we are super excited about for the young reader in your life. It's called Create a Critter. If you back us at this reward tier, you'll have the opportunity to select from a handful of artists who are involved in this project and then send in a drawing by your child, and the artist that you selected will create a custom book plate with your child's drawing reimagined by them. Are you a comics creator yourself? Then we have a reward tier for you that we are so excited about. A 30-minute call with me or one of a handful of industry pros who are involved with this project. But you do have to act fast because we only have a few slots available. So we would love for you to come join us in this journey, this adventure of discovery, creativity, and a sprinkle of collective magic. Thank you so much.
We are back.
I'm just sitting here looking at all my friends that I've made through this project and this bigger community since 2020, and I'm just celebrating very quietly because I'm all alone in my sister-in-law's house on vacation. But I love it. So let's keep hoping that we reach everybody that we've emailed and called and talked to over the last few months, and some of our friends really come along, and some of our people that love DIY comics really come along.
Well, I think we've reached some people because we are up to 15 backers so far.
Woohoo! What's the percentage of our goal?
Do we hit it that?
Over 30%.
Okay, see, so that the number's going up.
Yeah,
We have one of those thermometers like they have at elementary schools.
Yeah, it's already broken the $1,040 mark. Yeah, it's about a third of the way there.
Good. Well, I already. This is really probably you're gonna say shut up. This is jinxing us, but I already wrote a blog post about how we reached our goal in such and such hours, not days. I'd be satisfied within days, but hours is what I'm thinking. From the excitement my friends have shown me when I've showed this to them, or my other Kickstarter backers, even the ones that only read my horror comics, they're like, yeah, my grandson will like that.
We all have to stay on this call until we fund, right?
Yeah.
Because I haven't eaten today, so.
Oh.
Wow, Jeff, you're doing such a great job, Jeff Wagner, with the signs.
Somebody sent Jeff.
I should probably talk so I can
Jeff
say,
a cookie.
here's my little, we're over 1,000. We broke the 1,000 barrier. 17 backers. $1,040. Guys, this is awesome.
Well, what I'm liking is that we are at 31% with 32 days to go. So that's encouraging.
Yeah. No, I've heard from other people running Kickstarters that the first 2 or 3 days are crucial to get as much as you can, because there's also the slump midway, and then just when the campaign is about to close, then maybe just people rush to go. It's like an U curve, what I think, but at least we can make as much of at the top end of the U curve as possible.
The inverse Gaussian bell curve. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay, Gaussian. No, it's more like an inverted Gaussian curve because it's U-shaped. Yeah.
They call it the Kickstarter saddle because it starts up and it goes down and back up. But more recently, it's kind of, they haven't come up with a name yet, but it's kind of like an L shape with serifs is what it's now resembling more.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But you know, nerdy stuff. But we do have some fun stuff that we're striving to plan out for that week 3 phase, right? Between Cinco de Mayo and May 10th. I'm sure we can come up with something that'll be interesting. We've got a few things in the works.
That's why the blog I mentioned will go out today, you know, or whenever. You know, it'll say we reached our goal, and you could still get one, because there's a certain cachet, obviously, to, you know, reaching your funding goal fairly quickly. We thought of that when we set the funding goal, and now we're reaching it.
Yeah, I mean, my go-to is funded overnight. My aspiration is funded in 1 hour. So anywhere in between, I'll be content with.
Yeah, nice.
Should we show the bloopers video?
Well, I'm still hoping we save that for the very end so that we can make sure as many people stay with us for this 60-minute call as possible. We still have one more video that we can share.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we could still, I don't know if anyone on this call has set up anything that they want to share on the Zoom call, but we could do stuff like that as well. You know, I'm sure Cesar is not the only person on this call who would have some insights to share about their experience working on this project. And please, somebody save me from just constantly talking.
You know, Patrick, I think I'm in the same boat. I'm babbling now, but I'm going to a children's book festival tomorrow, halfway across the world, literally. So I was all of a sudden thinking to myself, is there something I could do while I'm over there? Like that would be kind of cool on the weekend.
Like,
a live stream from United Arab Emirates Children's Book Festival.
I mean, if we can get you doing a little, hand selfies type video, that we could add that to a backer update and to the blog.
Yeah. Actually, so what I'm doing there is I'm giving a presentation to teachers and parents that is about how graphic novels can help with reading fluency. So it's kind of all about getting kids to become book lovers and also explaining the value of graphic novels for reading in general. So that's totally relevant to what we're doing with this anthology.
Yes, totally. And I'm already thinking like, we have, I think why would a literary agent be on Kickstarter? That video also explains some of our partnerships with the charitable organizations. So once we play that video, we can also have maybe Nicole and Janelle say a little bit about those organizations, especially because one of them has kind of an event happening imminently. And so it'd be fun to kind of let people know about that as well. But maybe before we go to that next video, Edna can share a little bit of what she took away from working on this project. Sorry.
Oh, you're mute.
Okay. Just goes to show when you put like a little idea out there, be ready to talk about it. Um, I One of the big takeaways for me was connecting with all you guys, on this big project because um being part of the marketing team is like you have your fingers on probably every single part of this project as it grows. And there was a lot of learning that took place for me. I know, like, I brought in some experience as a graphic designer. I worked in publications and different things like that. So it was natural that I volunteered to do the newsletter and the blog. And I had a cohort in that with Maritza. You want to chime in, Maritza? And so, yeah, we learned as we went, and it was so exciting to highlight the behind the scenes stuff around that. There was a lot behind of exciting developments behind the scenes, and there's more to share too on that front. I think we can just keep going with that on the blog if we want to, leading up to the pre-launch and the launch.
I think for me, once now that we're at this point, which I am still amazed that it's been over a year, like it seems like longer and shorter also. So, but I'm really, like getting to work with Edna and Patrick and just different ones of you at different points has been pretty amazing. And I don't feel that I haven't been able to do all the things I'd hoped to do up to this point, but now that it's like launched, there's something psychologically like, okay, now I can get all the little alerts out, and I'm excited. I've been definitely talking to a bunch of friends about it and letting people know. But yeah, this is super, and then we'll be able to show also a conversation that Edna and I had with Nadia Solomon. She interviewed us. We'll be posting that today, which was pretty fun. It was fun to do. And yeah, I'm really thankful for her support and everything she's done too. So cool.
That's awesome. So I really want to quickly, I noticed that Roger has a question, so I just want to jump in and answer that. We have 3 add-ons in this campaign. The first add-on is an extra book, right? Anyone can just add an extra book to their reward tier if they want to give a copy to a friend. The second add-on is a pair of mini comics. And these mini comics are going to be small items that are based on the comic historian comics that Cesar pioneered. And I know I contributed a couple. So did Jeff. So did Janelle. I might have and Nicole. Right. So it'll collect all those little 4-panel comics that just kind of lampooned the process of creating this comic. And then the second of those mini comics will feature all of the we're calling it an anthology because it'll feature all of the mascots and the various little 4-panel comics that Nicole pioneered. And we'll just have those as like extra little add-ons, small little things, zine-ish size, something like that, just to add on. So that'll be a fun add-on. And then we'll have the really cool add-on in addition to that will be a sticker set that Elizabeth assembled for us. And that features 2, look at that, balloons and everything.
I don't know why it does that. I'm so sorry. I have yet to figure out how to fix it.
Well, that what an intention grabber. Would you like to share a few details about the sticker set?
Yes, I would love to. I feel like the grandpa from Willy Wonka. I've been sick for the last week, and I sprung out of bed and I worked on those stickers, and they feature art from every single comic that is in this anthology. So think of them as little Easter eggs. So as you're reading through the comics, you're able to be like, oh, that's from that sticker, and so on.
Plus, that makes the book very crossoverable because you can take a character from one comic and put it in somebody else's comic. I mean, what other comic allows you to do that?
Hey guys, if I can chime in real quick, we are up to 26 backers and we're over $1,300 on the way to our goal.
Yay!
Lucky 13. So maybe that's a good point for us to play our final video, which explains why a literary agent would have a video on Kickstarter.
Okay, back to the question of why a literary agent would be working with a group of creators to do a Kickstarter. Well, traditional publishing is definitely not the only way that you can publish a book anymore, and Kickstarter is super effective. And not only that, but it also allows you to avoid gatekeeping and learn by doing, which is awesome. Okay, so we feel so strongly about the power of story that we are not paying any of the creators involved in this project. Everyone is donating the many hours that they spent working on it to something that they think will make the world a little bit better. And one way that you can help us is by donating a copy of the book to one of a few organizations that we are partnering with, each of which is dedicated to helping a group of vulnerable kids, either in the United States or abroad. And you can find out more about that by looking at our community tier. Just scroll down in the rewards. Meeting our campaign goals will bring you a beautiful full-color comics anthology aimed at kids between the ages of 7 and 12. The stories range from 1 to 8 pages, and the project is complete. And okay, these stories are everything from educational to whimsical, funny to scary, real life to fantastical. But let's hear how their creators describe them.
My one word would be curiouser.
Odd.
Transformative.
Heart-stopping.
Frantic.
Silly.
Hopeful.
Optimism.
Weird. Noisy.
Grumble.
Mysterious.
Heartwarming.
Adventurous.
Camaraderie.
Wholesome.
Poetic.
Atmospheric.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, we should, but let's so that video that we just played talked about our charitable activities. I'm still seeing the video on the other screen, so that's why I'm getting a little bit distracted. Mm-hmm. But we have two members on this call who helped put together those charitable partnerships. And so considering one of them was also pioneering our anthology takeovers, I'm hoping I can give Janelle the floor to explain two things at once. Talk about a high wire act.
Sure. Do you want me to start with the takeover or the charity first, or does it matter?
Your call, whichever comes to mind first. I know you weren't prepped on any. Oh, well, you were prepped a little bit. So
a little bit. Yeah. Thanks for Jeff and Ashley for linking me in here. So one of the charities under the community tier is called Rising Star Outreach. It's a group that we've supported in the past, and they're a really wonderful group. They work with communities affected by leprosy by providing medical care, job training, and education. They have 2 campuses in India where they have a K through 12 school that serves children from that are affected by leprosy that are from the colonies or they're in a nearby village. And they teach English, they teach science, math, and computer tech. And it's a really great organization. I can't say enough good about it. And you can find a link to their organization in our community tier. They do a lot of really wonderful work. And we've sponsored a couple of students over the years. And we love getting the letters from them when they're writing in English and learning English. It's a lot of fun. And so a graphic novel is a great way, as many of us know, a comics format is a great way for language acquisition, for people to gain those language skills. So it's a really wonderful partnership to be able to provide this opportunity for them to help these kids who are amongst some of the most vulnerable in our global community. So I'm really excited that we get to work with them. And then the takeovers, on the Mighty Networks, you saw my post today, and everybody gets to have an opportunity to take over. The calendar is there. And you can brag about yourself. You can share anything about your process. Just share something that you think will be of value to the other members in the KCU community. And if you have any questions, please reach out to myself, to Nicole, to Patrick. We can help you with that. We'll be sending out 28 backers. Awesome. We'll be sending out a an email later on today, updating everybody and giving you a little instruction page on how to do that. So that's it from me.
Awesome. Thank you, Janelle. And yeah, so to dovetail on what Janelle was saying, we have a month of activities that include these profile takeovers, right? So that'll be a way for each of us to have our particular say and you know, share what we want about the event. So but before I blather any further, I hope Nicole is ready to share a little bit about our other charitable partnership and the special event that's about to happen with them that we were talking about. Nicole, tag.
I'm really, really excited about this organization. They are local here in Vancouver, Washington, where I'm from, and it's called Autism Empowerment. They produce several different programs. They've got Spectrum Life magazine, Zoom Autism magazine. They have a podcast coming back this summer. So they have reach across the West Coast as well as across the United States and globally. Their most recent edition of Spectrum Life magazine focused on autism globally and global autism stories. So it's just a really great organization. Within that, they have this Autism Serves Helping Hands as well. So what that's going to do is when they receive the books that people choose to donate, they're going to have teens, 13 and older, young adults of all ability levels, autistic and neurodivergent volunteers that get together to then make a difference in the community. So that can look like, you know, a variety of projects from environmental cleanups and food drives and sensory friendly events, but they also do literacy and education support in local schools and libraries. So what I'm really, really excited about is that this book is going to find its way into the hands of neurodivergent and autistic youth here in the community that I'm from, especially because my story is inspired by my own autistic son. And so I just, you know, representation is so important. And with everything going on in the world right now, this is so special to me. And I could not be more excited to support autism empowerment here in Vancouver, Washington, and all of the little autistic and neurodivergent kiddos that are going to get to read these stories. I'm just so excited. Yeah.
That's awesome. And we're now at 29 backers. I'm sure we'll be at 30 momentarily. But the one cool thing that we just found out is that they are also hosting, what was it? I'm forgetting the name. Maybe you can remind me.
Yes, I had it pulled up so I could remember it. It's called the Neurodivergent Creators Collective. And so I know we have a few creators here in the Pacific Northwest who can get online with the Zoom. They've got it going this Saturday at 2:00 p.m. Pacific time. They're gonna kind of launch this Neurodivergent Creators Collective. And they're looking to host workshops and a variety of topics, from things like acting and podcast making and voiceovers into things like, you know, reading comics and art and anything that the neurodivergent creators themselves are interested in. So as a neurodivergent creator, I'm going to be on that Zoom, and I'm looking forward to supporting them in that endeavor as well.
So since that's happening eminently, I think we'll at the very least do like a Mighty Networks event. Just let anyone who's might be interested also have a chance to participate. But that might also make for a really fun and interesting backer update for folks to just let them know, like, this is what our partners are up to. And so they can understand that, you know, these efforts are ongoing, right? They're happening in the moment. Look at that, 31 backers. Awesome. So I think we've played all of our videos. Am I remembering that correctly?
Not the blooper video.
Not the blooper video. We're holding off on that. We're gonna hold that one as long as we can. I'm looking at the clock and we have 3 minutes till the end of the hour. So is there anything else we want to say? Like, we didn't really go into too much detail about the Create a Critter reward tier, which I think is really awesome. And I mean, people saw the video for it, and I think we're going to try and really lean into spotlighting that tier over the course of either this week or next week, but I'm looking at my screen and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our critter creators are on this call right now. I might have missed 1 or 2, but that's the perils of working on a small tablet. I can't see anyone. But what should I ask for a single word from each creator to express how they feel about creating the critter of some youngsters, born from some youngster's imagination? So let's say we have about 10 seconds to think of that one word before I'll start calling on people's names. Does that sound plausible?
I think you should let them say more than that.
Okay.
I don't know. People should choose.
Well, I'm just also trying to be cognizant of our timetables, but let's start with who we always start with, Cesar.
Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I did it myself with my kids, and I love the process, and I'm a big fan of these concepts. So I'm looking forward to receive drawings from other kids, really, and try to reinterpret them.
Excellent. Also, I know that Edna will be creating critters. Is that right? Do you have anything you'd like to say about that process?
Yeah, I sent in an example that was created by my granddaughter, Lila, and she's 3, and she made this monster, and I recreated it, and in her favorite color, pink. So I'll say that much so far. You can see a picture of it when on the page. I guess there's like a little collection of pictures. So
Yes, and another one of our creators who submitted some examples was Devin. So anything you'd like folks to know about the create a critter process?
It was a lot of fun. I did it with my kids who are 11 and 9, and they had a lot of fun coming up with the critters. And then we're really excited to see my interpretations of them. So I'm just really looking forward to being able to do that with somebody else's another child's drawings. Because yeah, it's a lot of fun just to kind of see what they come up with and try and figure out how to make it your own.
Excellent. And Maritza, she came in at the last minute, so there is unfortunately no graphic of you on the video. Apologies, but
TBA or like incoming or something.
Oh yeah, we'll make something happen for sure.
I had a boy yesterday, a 4-year-old boy who drew something for me, and he wasn't sure what I was talking about, which was great fun. But he did draw something, and I love that this is the eyes and these are the hand, walking me through, because he knows he wants his creature to, be accurately represented by my depiction.
Awesome, exciting stuff. And I know Sarah Steinberg has also has an example on the campaign page and in the video. That was fun to add.
I guess I'm coming at it very humbly because my neurodivergent 9-year-old is always very critical of my art. He felt that my illustration was not quite realistic enough, and I should really work on my realism. He says I've been doing too many comics, and my realism isn't very good. But I'm going to get a lot of practice in, because next week I'm hosting a table at a STEAM fair at his school, and I'm going to be drawing critters for kids live. So we'll see if I get some more generous feedback from other children in the community.
That's awesome. And I know that I created one just as an example, so I don't know if anyone. But the funny thing was that example was based on a friend's nieces who ended up buying copies of my comic, and they ended up creating a whole clay diorama from one of the scenes from my comic, which was a lot of fun to witness. So they really ended up sending me a ton of clay sculptures of their various monsters. So rather than a drawing, I asked for a drawing to use it in the example, but I now owe them about 5 interpretations of their clay creatures. in gratitude for that first one that I got from them. So yeah, critters everywhere, I imagine. Did I miss anyone who's also going to be creating critters for this reward tier that I'm just not seeing on this call? Okay, no, good. Taking my host hat off for just a moment to breathe.
I think we just need like $76 and we'll be halfway to our goal.
We are very close. Yeah. I just thought we might all want to take a second and say thank you, first off, Jana, for getting this ball rolling. Like, this has been such an amazing adventure over the year, getting this going, and here we are so close to making this a real thing. So thank you. And thank you to everybody here. This is a lot of work, and it's almost a real thing, guys. We're doing it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to look back and this is going to be one of those experiences that you never forget. Ever forget.
One of
The
the
question might be, are you going to do another one?
Oh, I think, if David Quinn, you were talking about where Kids Comics Unite was in 2020. And if you think about how much it's grown and how much we've done and how it's evolved since 2020, and if it continues on that trajectory in 2030, I think we'll be doing really cool stuff. I don't know what exactly it'll be. I just think it's going to be pretty cool.
Agreed.
This might be a little chaotic with speaker view, but if anybody here would be willing to do another one, just unmute yourself and say aye. I just want to see what happens.
Aye.
Aye.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah. Let's see how this one goes first.
Well, I mean,
Depends on what's going on in life.
I'm always talking about webcomics. That is something that I really, really want to do a lot.
Sure, let's do an improvised ongoing webcomic where we each just do one page and pass it to the person on the left. How about that?
Exquisite corpse of webcomics.
Yes, and I pointed, if you didn't notice, I pointed to the right while saying left, but
I just kind of assumed it will happen again. Just like I assumed we'd reach our goal within the first 24 hours. I'm just being really cocky here.
One of the reasons that I would do it again is because it's been a super inspiring project. With the editorial team, we have the benefit of seeing work come in different stages, and just seeing people work really hard and level up the work was inspiring to us to up our work as well. So that was a great reason to do it. Not to mention the fact that we're going to have books that we can actually hand to kids, but the process has been pretty amazing.
Totally.
I've just been reading my phone's been blowing up with text messages from folks who are backing, and they're like sending me the whole paragraph of the email that they got.
Wow.
So fun stuff.
Wow.
Someone's also sending me photos of the Great Dane they just adopted. It's like maybe 6 months old and huger than Milo, but that only matters if you know the size of my dog.
48% kids.
So do we get to see Milo if we make 50% before the end of this stream? Can we bring him on camera?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Chances are he's on the bed right behind that door, so it's plausible. If you all are willing to ignore the laundry and various other things that he might have like brought onto the bed with him.
Milo's office hours are open.
We just had it, 34 backers.
Oh my gosh.
All right. let me see. Oh no, he's not there. That means
Oh my God, we did.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Let's see if he'll come. He's a husky, so he doesn't always come when he's called. But I can hear him stirring. All
Go
right.
doggo. Go doggo.
I'll
Go
take you
doggo.
the perks of a tablet. I'll take you to, oh, look, there he is. He heard his name. Let's see. And he's ignoring the camera. Okay, I hope I didn't give folks vertigo with that one.
Is he going to be in the anthology?
He has a walk-on role. He appears on, what is that, panel 5 of page 1 of one of my contributions. So he is one of the critters that gets encountered in the story.
Awesome.
And yeah, we are so close to completing. So Jana, would you like to take a moment to wrap up our live stream by setting up this blooper reel we've been holding off on for so long?
Yeah, so Sarah Giles edited this blooper video, and Sarah Giles is the most genius video editor ever. She has the best sense of humor of anybody, and I don't know how you have the patience to go through all that footage to find all those little bits and pieces and then put them together. Sarah, can I ask you how many hours it took you to make that video?
Oh gosh. I mean, yeah, more than I want to admit because I see some breadcrumbs and I have to follow them to the end. But it got to a certain point where I was reliving the entire beginning of the project. And I was like, okay, this video is done.
Yeah. Yeah, so this bloopers video made my day. I'll babble a little bit. I think I mentioned that. So, okay, Sarah sent me the video probably a number of weeks ago and was like, please look at this video and confirm that it's okay. And of course, I had a lot of things going on, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get to that as soon as I can. And then days and days went by, weeks went by. And then Sarah's like, can you please look at the video? And then the particular day, oh, I got an email into my inbox. I mentioned this. Like, I rarely get like angry, mean emails, but this was an angry, mean email. And it really wasn't pleasant. And then just for whatever reason, I happened to be like, open Sarah's email next, and I watched the video, and it just made me feel so good and so happy, and completely changed my day, made me smile. So that's my intro to this video.
That's awesome. And so Bailey, whenever you're ready, we'll close out our stream with this video.
Oh
Ooh.
my gosh. Let's see. I bet I,
It's a live blooper.
yeah, I wonder if I could find it.
I'm also looking.
Yeah.
My apologies.
I have it. I have it up.
I thought I had everything.
I think that's it in the chat.
Take it away, Jeff.
Okay, let me just let me make sure I'm sharing screen here, and
It probably won't go so smoothly if you try to show it through Zoom. You might just want to see if Bailey can grab the file.
Live internet, folks. All right, so maybe we can hear from Sarah a little bit more or who else should we talk about? Or who else would like to talk?
Well, actually,
I will say,
oh, go ahead, Sarah.
I will say it was fun to make the video and to contribute and to work on the publishing committee because I, as life treaded in, I wasn't able to contribute a comic to the anthology, but I've had so much fun working on it all the way through and getting all the learning and very exciting to see, like Jeff said, all the art come in, and I'm just blown away. It does make me excited to be able to participate in the future and contribute my own work as well.
Yay, we all want that done.
Yes.
Okay, back to the question of why a literary agent. I took a first stab towards assembling the committees. And this committee was really easy to assemble because not very many people wanted to do it. Yay!
So it's hard for me to decide what the right way to do this is when I'm not sure what we're doing.
I think that's the burning question about the anthology. Like, we want to define what we want to make, but it's a really big decision and we need a lot of information. But to get the information, we need the committees, and the committees have to know how to be set up and how to run their things to be able to give the information to make the big decision.
I don't know what we've used the term emergent, but I'm trying not to use that right now because it's a little bit of a hot button term.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that almost sounds like guiding principles.
One circle of the Venn diagram and then the other circle of the Venn diagram.
So maybe it's something that's kind of in my wheelhouse.
Here's our raison d'etre. And
then craft a post hoc narrative.
Have any of you guys heard of like the 6 thinking hats?
I just accidentally put on my marketing hat, so.
I have so many thoughts about that, Patrick. I've been thinking a lot about marketing. It's like bursting out of my head. And then sometimes they just go, bleh.
In the micro scale, the thought of like applying that task to the liaison.
For instance, what the liaisons are going to teach the other committees,
Here's your liaison and help, sherpa you through the process.
I'm the liaison from the publishing committee to the marketing committee. But that doesn't mean that the marketing committee cannot have a liaison that comes to our meetings.
Would it make sense to have like an alternate liaison or like a backup liaison?
And then they meet as one giant committee, which Patrick liaisons with.
So we're kind of coming up with a new role, a super liaison.
All of these meetings about process is not as much fun as like, actually, let's make a book. But I feel like it's so important that we're having these challenging discussions now to iron out some of this stuff because I think it'll help us so much. So now I think we're ready. We're ready for that next step, which is bringing everybody else on board. Sorry, I'm getting really excited, but I think I'm on the same page, I think, as the rest of you. I think. Oh, you're on mute. Oh, you're on mute. Oh, you're on mute.
Asking.
The vernacular would be a sketch variant. And the reason why I'm not answering Jeff's question is because I don't have an answer for Jeff's question. We won't know until we get the books back from the printer.
So maybe Anne Marie will be able to, once we are making the final print decisions, she'll be able to tell us whether it's just a blank cover or whether it's a wraparound.
Yeah, I mean, there are like, depending on who we go to press with, right? I mean, that is a Kickstarter tradition. I mean, not a Kickstarter, KCU tradition.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, are we back? Oh, okay. All right. Well, does that wrap everything up, Patrick?
I just got 3 text messages back for people who are going to back the project.
Oh my God. Yes. And then
I've been
Nicole,
texting friends while we talk.
wow, and it's gone up. So I think I hope everybody here has gotten inspired about like more ways that you can reach out, because I feel like I've gotten some ideas just on this call. But yeah, this has been so great. So are we gonna say, Patrick, anything else before we?
If you haven't backed the campaign, please do so. We have 32 days left. We are at 36 backers, which is awesome. We are at 1707 as a number to end with, which is also great fun. Maybe for the handful of people who might stumble across this video, Jana, you could explain our KCU tradition of how we end our meetings, and we can end this one that way.
Yes. All right. Since you mentioned that, Patrick, about the handful of people who might stumble on this video, I should say what Kids Comics Unite is. Kids Comics Unite, we're all here. We're all writers and artists who focus on making comics and graphic novels for kids and teens. And Kids Comics Unite is a community for those people. So please join us. All right. Well, our tradition in KCU is every time we have an event, whether it's on Zoom or a YouTube live stream, we all unmute ourselves at the very end and say thank you for being with us and goodbye. All right.
So thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your support.
Happy our
Bye.
campaign.
Make some
everybody.
noise.
Mahalo.
Aloha.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Cowabunga.
Bye.